Yo, what's good, chat? It's been a long time since I've made any content, and I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. The point of today's video is to talk about my new samples for my label, MEGAPUNK. I changed the name of the URL only because it leans more into the cyberpunk type of aesthetic and theme of the brand, so that's one thing I'm trying to get off my chest real quick. In total, I have 5 different samples I did want to talk about today. Definitely want to start off with an outerwear piece that I'm probably most excited for, which is this right here. It's the Akihabara crewneck, primarily inspired by the Raph Simmons Nebraska crewneck. I personally wanted to take my own interpretation of it and bring it into my own label. I don't really wear crewneck sweaters that much, but I feel like I really cooked right here. First off, I got my signature shoulder hit, reminiscent of Misato's jacket from Evangelion. I wanted to have this shoulder insert in my designs only because I wanted to stand out and make that a signature part of my label. I also wanted to make it tonal and still there at the same time. There's a bit of a different shape right here, which is in line with Misato's jacket, along with this embroidery right here, going all the way across to the back. I got this tonal embroidery in the back right here, reminiscent of Major's entry plug in the back of her neck. I want to have that right here as just like a small detail, and if you see up close, it has the little small MEGAPUNK logos in the embroidery design. Also messed around with my first updated woven labels for this manufacturer. So I got the most current logo along with the icon logo. Also have the little size tag right under it when you flip it up. I don't really think I'm gonna change much from this. This already came out so well to me that I just want to put it out as soon as I can when I get the funds right and all that. And the star of the show, of course, is the Akihabara hit across the chest in the Genesis font. I absolutely love how this came out, only because it just looks so sick on body. Other labels mimicking the Nebraska crewneck are making it more closer to a 1-to-1, but I wanted to take it and make it my own. So right here, I do have the Akihabara crewneck on body, and overall, I felt like it came out pretty much perfect and exactly how I wanted it to fit. And I had to finish it off with my woven label right here. Flip it up, you got the icon logo. Love the long cuffs on these for sure. And one of the best parts that I really like about this crewneck and my other outerwear that I'm currently developing is that you can honestly wear this to the gym. You can pick up your arm and not have it pull up from the waist area. Semi-tight neck right here, so you can see a little peep of the t-shirt under, but overall not going to be too tight, but not going to be too loosey-goosey. And the time I'm recording, it's the start of August. It's pretty hot around the world and all that. You could throw this on easily and not even be catching a sweat. The fabric details of this are 100% French terry combed cotton that just feels so great on the body, and the durability is very good. You got the embroidery on the back, looking great as well. This right here specifically is an XL. I'm gonna make a size range from small to XL. For now, this is gonna be the biggest size. I will have a size chart ready on the website when this releases. Not sure when exactly. 100% by the end of the year. I don't want to put a month or anything, but I'm trying to get this out sooner than later. Speaking of stuff that I'm coming out sooner than later, it's gonna be the pill pile. I've been wearing it a lot to different local conventions and all that, and I love how this looks. I keep teasing it, but I'm not actually putting it out. I've wore this to Anime Expo. I've wore this literally to Comic Kit. Wore this to San Diego Comic-Con. All these different events, but I haven't even put it out yet, or even put a pre-order. Right now, I do have 2 boxes full of MEGAPUNK merchandise that hasn't been sold, only because I pre-made it before I got any following, which is fine. To keep it quick, I personally just don't like the pre-order method, only because I just want to get my products out quick. I'm not trying to have people wait a month or 2 just to have something that they paid for early in the year. I want to put this out sometime in September. I just need the funds right now. I was pretty broke recently, and that's why I wasn't able to fully enjoy a lot of things. Let's just say things are starting to get better, and I will be able to get a bulk of this pretty soon. I pretty much went over the backstory of this before. Either that, or I'm just gonna throw up a short form content talking about the backstory of this. So the anime pill pile tee is gonna come out in the next month or 2. That's a guarantee. It's just that I need to do the bulk order, and then I need to make sure I got it in hand before I even put it up for sale. I'm gonna keep making content, trying to build an audience just so more people could see it. Let me just take this crewneck off real quick. Before I forget, I do have this version of the pill pile on. This is the manga version, same as the other one. This is the early sample of it, but it's going to be the same thing pretty much. The only difference is it's just going to be higher up on this collar. And of course the manga theme is just because it's going to be black and white, and grayscale, all that type of stuff. So with the next sample, I did want to talk about another t-shirt, but this one for sure doesn't have a release date yet. And I want to talk about the new packaging that I want to include with all my products going forward. Even though this is a little outdated right now, this is how it looks. Semi-translucent bag with the logo hits, 3 main ones, the icon, main text logo, slogan, and then the URL at the bottom. Even if you use this URL at the bottom, it'll still redirect to the main site. But this shirt, let me get out the package real quick. In the sample, I will say it has a bit of a mistake that it has the woven label, and I don't want to use that moving forward. Woven label on the t-shirt specifically, I don't want to do just because of the comfort and all that. It will still be comfortable, it's just that I'd rather save them for outerwear pieces. I don't really have a name for it, but I think I have it as isolation or something like that. It's like this main all over print front graphic in 2 colors. I want to say it's like a gray and a white or something like that. I remember specifically it was 2 different colors. I was informed that it was for the final release. So this one took a little while to make. Just a brief history of this. So I had the front graphic right here. Core design hasn't really changed much, but I wanted to update it with my own pattern moving forward. Despite liking the colors, I came up with this one. I want to say it's the same amount of colors, but there's 2 different grays right here that were just so similar that it looks washed out in the final version of how this specific revision came out. And I didn't really like how it looked, even though it's on this current pattern. It also had the woven tag, which is fine. I had a 3M hit right here. Looks cool, but it's just, I didn't want to move with this moving forward. Now I got the final release right here, which is the halftone. Looks amazing, and it just looks incredible in person. Such a great work of art. You can see more of the details right here as intended, and you can see on the shoulder right here and the sleeve, 3M hit. But the only reason is just because it's a Ye inspired piece. I'm not gonna lie, imagery from the Donna 2 listening party really have an affinity for that album and that time that released. Let's just say that. But this one's gonna be a little bit further out. Maybe by the end of the year I'll probably put it out if there's demand for it, but this for sure, I really want to put this out eventually, just as an homage. Let me also throw this on body real quick. Here it is on body, and overall I think it looks amazing. Haven't really posted much about it. I've had these samples for a while, I just haven't really felt the energy to really make it and put it out there, this video. I did a previous take a month ago, but it didn't really come out the way I wanted it, so I'm making this one. I think it looks incredible, especially in a fit pick. You got the layering piece, of course, it's gonna line up right here and you'll see the silhouette. Such a totally different piece than what you'll find out there right now. And not a lot of brands are really experimenting with all over prints like I am, especially to the level where they're actually implementing a totally different pattern. But the backstory, of course, is a lot of the themes of Donna 2 really resonated with me. A combination of a lot of different things. Themes of loneliness, stuff like that. I really want to implement it. The cyberpunk themes, higher tech, lower life, and especially on the lower life side of the Donna 2 things. Okay, next up is this hoodie that I'm most excited to talk about. And it is this, it comes of course in the same time packaging, but I'm not sure about this specific bag because it wasn't as great for this, and there's still some development for this hoodie, 100%. And let me talk about it real quick. This right here is the Cyber hoodie. The name's a work in process. This hoodie has the same base shape as the Akihabara crew neck with this updated hood right here. And I'm still really happy with how this came out. It looks incredible. It is actually very heavy to hold this because not only is it the 460 GSM on the outside, but it also has a 230 GSM layer. Think of it like a hoodie and a t-shirt already combined into this hoodie, so it's pretty heavy. Main star of the show, of course, is this all over print down the middle that looks absolutely stunning. And I got it on the front and the back. It's just not going on the hood. As you may notice, it is a similar design to the CPU shirt, which I got right here and also available on my site, but I definitely modified it to this new design. I want to make it more more intricate and developed on this version, 100%. So it's all over print going down the middle, but I might not print on the final release on this rib, only because the printing isn't very consistent. Even on their end, they told me it's not gonna come out good and it'll flake off easily just due to the nature of the rib. But I definitely want it up here to the neck where you'll really see it. You can see the embroidery right here over the print on the back. When you're wearing it down, like most people wear hoodies, you're gonna see that tonal embroidery of the icon logo right here. You may notice on camera, but it also has this upper fading on here and some on the pockets, but again, not final. Not sure if I'm gonna put it here or not. Previous version was not as great of a design as this one, so I'm happy with how this came out. Let me throw this also on. All right, here's the Cyber hood on body. I think it just looks amazing. The boxy hood right here, this comes up to a point. When you're wearing it, of course, it's always gonna have this logo right here. Gonna come all the way down. And I did notice it on camera that the fading looks crazier in camera, but it's not as drastic in person, for sure. I will say this also feels significantly heavier. I want to say it honestly feels like this hoodie due to the nature of it having 2 layers. But overall, I love how this came out. The only thing is I'm not sure if I'm going to have that second layer on the final release, because I'm really digging the aspect of this not being too heavy. What really matters is the outer layer, and the inner lining is not as important as making sure the outer layer the best. But yeah, definitely not a summertime hoodie. It'll just make you sweat like crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. An old sample with a different manufacturer of a hoodie that I was developing, and that damn near gave my homie a heat stroke. I don't want that to happen to anyone trying to wear it in summer. This is still pretty work in progress. I do want this rib print, but I really don't want it to look like shit or inconsistent down the road, so probably gonna opt out of this on the final release, despite it looking pretty good. Hood came out great, especially how this logo hit comes in the back when you're wearing it casually. When you pull up, you got one and then you got the other, so love that aspect. This is the main hoodie that I've been developing, with the Cyber Hood moniker being the code name. All right, moving on to the last one. This last one is a zip up I've been developing, but it's further out from completion than the other one. Definitely messing around with the zipper. It just comes up way too high. I was thinking about having a mask, like it'll come up right here, but on the execution of this, I don't think I really executed it correctly, and I am turned off to like having like a zipper all the way up here. I'm also reusing the same graphic from the pullover right here on the sleeves. I really like this aspect with the sleeve hit. It's not going to go on the rib due to the printing consistency not being there. Same body shape. The only difference is I changed up the pocket right here to be like this M shape, reminiscent of the CWP bomber or something like that. Trying to reuse that shape, but made it my own for this hoodie. Again, still early sample, so I got this graphic on the front, pretty much going to be the final one, changing up the size. I saw this quote and then I just honestly really liked it. I wanted to adapt it to my label. Of course, you got the Japanese text, that like English font that when they translate and everything that kind of defaults to, so I wanted to mimic that. Got the press start. Love the press start on the bottom, just as an homage to like playing video games and all that. I think the worst part of it was how I executed this. I think the embroidery is gonna look much better than just like printing for that graphic that I used on the crew neck. Same hood shape, but it's like split for this like mask, and it'll have that hit on the back. I also added a seam right here to line up with the shoulders, and then over the pockets and down here for this padding around the zipper. I have an updated one pretty much ready to go. I just gotta make the sample for it. Just gonna throw this on real quick. Again, not really final, and I don't like how it looks like when it's like not zipped up, because it's all over the place. Has this giant ass vampire type of collar that doesn't stay up. So definitely the point of research and development and getting samples. I'll show you all zipped up real quick. Here it is zipped up. I'm pretty sure the audio shit just because the mic is under here, and technically I have a mask on now. Hoodie's down. This is how it looks like that. There's no wash on this either, so there's not gonna be this type of wash on here. Not gonna plan that with this specific hoodie. Here it is with the hoodie on. looks too like 2015 edgy cyberpunk type of shit that I'm not really trying to go for. I'm trying to actually have it as something that you can actually wear in real life. Not too childish, but sleeve hits look crazy. That's the main part. This looks cool as fuck. The consistency right here wasn't good. I'm fixing that as I go on. But yeah, that'll do it for my recent samples, 5 in total. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, following me on my socials, MEGAPUNK Official and MEGAPUNK Online. You can check out the website, megapunk.online. I'll throw all the links in the description for that kind of stuff. So far, I do have the grid and the CPU's T ready to go. I could just ship it out pretty much the next day from it being ordered, or even the same day if it's really early. Free shipping. I'm willing to take that hit just for people to have it in hand. And that's gonna do it for this video. And really appreciate anyone who just came across this video randomly in their YouTube feed. Also anyone that I actually know in real life that are like supporting me in this journey of content creation to support my label and everything. So thank y'all for that. And to everyone, thank y'all for watching. Take care and see y'all in the next video.